Continuum. Okay, now this for me might not be for you, but was very confusing initially when this came out, and Gary still gets me to present it anyway, trying to get his head around it. And basically what we're going to have is, let's get it up. So you've got the axes, okay, north to south, west to east, and north to south is maximum well-being, mental well-being. Okay, because we've all got mental health. And it's down to terminology, and this is what we were saying before about mental health. We all have mental health, but people think that saying mental health means you've got a mental illness. So we're concentrating on terminology now. So your mental well-being is how you look after your own mental health, your mental well-being. Okay, and then from west to east, or east to west, whichever way around you look at it, is the actual illness, mental illness. Okay, and then obviously whereabouts you come within this. So let's just do this. So up here it says, turn it off again, I better say it better. So a person with a diagnosis of a serious mental illness but who copes well and has positive mental health. So to kind of put that into realistic terms, that would be me right now. So I have a mental illness and diagnosis of post-traumatic stress disorder. However, I'm stood here in front of you, okay, I have coping strategies and mechanisms, okay, which allows me to manage my own mental health. On a bad day, I might be down here. But today, lucky you, you've got me there. A person with no diagnosed mental illness or disorder, but who has poor mental health. So, someone who hasn't been diagnosed, and this is another word difference, not on terminology, it's going to come out again and again. Non-diagnosed and actual diagnosed. So this is with no diagnosed mental illness or disorder, but who has poor mental health. So they're not looking after themselves, or they're just their stress container is overflowing, yeah, and they just can't handle. They've gone really anxious. They just can't handle the day. They maybe become a recluse. They become introverted, extroverted, and they're in a really bad place. But they haven't been diagnosed by a professional as having a mental illness. Does that make sense so far? Everyone with me? Okay. So then, a person with no mental illness or disorder and positive mental health. And down here we got a person with a diagnosis of a serious mental illness and who has poor mental health. So again, in realistic terms for me, that will be where I can be at times, when I don't manage to cope, when something has happened, I've allowed my stress container to overfill. It could be, as you've mentioned before, it could be something has happened in my life and it has an impact on me. It could be a trigger, something's triggered me. It could be I've got various triggers going back to army tours around the world and Afghan and Iraq, etc. So it could be a trigger. I try to watch out for them and run away, but it doesn't always work. So then I would end up down here, really bad place.